Well, I guessing it'd be about time to get this warmed up and going. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Oh, now, how be this get to working again?
Press the button.
Which
no,
button?
No, not that one.
Not this
the
one.
left.
That one.
No, your other left.
This other one.
Oh,
Which one are you talking about?
I meant the right. No,
What-
but
what
not
are you-
that big red one.
The-
The
this
other
way.
red button.
Not-
Just not the big, happy, shiny one.
You mean the one I just pushed?
Yes, for crying out
Oh,
loud. You don't
right.
know what you're doing.
I
That's
know
a
perfectly well what I'm doing.
Not that button. Oh,
I-
for crying out loud. You just sit here on your patootie. You play
Well,
with your buttons. I go make coffee.
You do that, but don't slam the door. Welcome back, me mateys. I was just looking forward at the calendar. And what be I seeing? Oh, that next week be daylight savings time. So what does that be meaning? Between you and me, it means we have to spring forward. In other words, we move the clocks ahead but 1 hour. Don't be upset because you're losing an hour of sleep. The truth of the matter be that you're just 1 hour less that you have to wait for the next episode of the Captain's Quarters, and that sounds like a truly dear and sweet thing to me. Oh, and another thing, it gives a great opportunity. It comes but twice a year. A great opportunity to grate someone's gears with a great practical joke. Yeah, well, they're going to be saying, oh, do we move the clock forward or we do the clocks back? They do this every single time it has to happen. So, be so kind as to be telling everyone, you move the clocks back an hour. So, they'll be totally messed up by at least a good 2 hours one way or the other. So, if you understand me true heart, it's all about messing with people's minds if you can, but not be hurtful. Just mess with them. And on that note, I think it's time to get right to the music, and that shall be, there it be Weird Al Yankovic. I think I'm a clone now, right here on the Captain's Quarters. Welcome back, me mateys. Welcome back.
Isn't it strange? Feels like I'm looking in the mirror. What would people say
You know I love that organic cooking. I always ask for more. And they call me Mr. Natural, on down to the health food store. I only eat good sea salt, white sugar don't touch my lips. And my friends is always begging me to take them on macrobiotic trips. Yes, they are. Oh, but night I take out my strong box that I keep under lock and key. And I take it off to my closet where nobody else can see. I open that door so slowly, take a peek up north and south. Then I pull out a Hostess Twinkie and I pop it in my mouth. Yeah, in the daytime I'm Mr. Natural, just as healthy as I can be. But at night I'm a junk food junkie. Good Lord, have pity on me. Well, at lunchtime you can always find me at the Whole Earth Vitamin Bar, just sucking on my plain white yogurt from my hand-thrown pottery jar. And sipping a little hand-pressed cider with a carrot stick for dessert. And wiping my face in a natural way on the sleeve of my peasant shirt. Oh yeah. Ah, but when that clock strikes midnight and I'm all by myself, I work at combination on my secret hideaway shelf. And I pull out some Fritos corn chips, Dr. Pepper, and an old moon pie. Then I sit back in glorious expectation of a genuine junk food high. Then the next time I'm Mr. Natural. Oh yeah, in the daytime I'm Mr. Natural, just as healthy as I can be. Oh, but at night I'm a junk food junkie. Good Lord, have pity on me. Alright. My friends down at the commune, they think I'm pretty neat. Oh, I don't know nothing about arts and crafts, but I give them all something to eat. I'm a friend to old Yule Gibbons, and I only eat homegrown spice. I got a John Keats autographed Grecian urn filled up with my brown rice. Yes, I do. Oh, folks, but lately I have been spotted with a Big Mac on my breath, stumbling into a Colonel Sanders with a face as white as death. I'm afraid someday they'll find me just stretched out on my bed with a handful of Pringles potato chips and a ding-dong by my head. In the daytime I'm Mr. Natural, just as healthy as I can be. But at night I'm a junk food junkie. Good Lord, have pity on me.
There be Larry Gross with junk food junkie. Now, we've got a special treat for ye. It's Past the Veggies from Buddy O here on the Captain's Quarters.
So take your veggies and shove them up your nose. I don't want to be healthy. I like to keep my mind closed. So take your roughage and stick it in your ear. I know what's good for me. Cigarettes, ice cream, and beer. I know what's good for me. Cigarettes, ice cream, and beer. Well, I don't like to eat health food. No ginseng or sprouts for me. I'll get all the nutrition I need from a Big Mac on a poppy seed. Now junk food with sugar is bad, so you say. It'll poison my tummy, rot my teeth away. Well, thank you, good friend, for your good advice. Just let me eat my way and I'll try to be nice. So take your veggies and shove them up your nose. I don't want to be healthy. I like to keep my mind closed. So take your roughage and stick it in your ear. I know what's good for me. cream and beer. I know what's good for me. Cigarettes, ice cream, and beer. Colorings, additives, and preservatives you see are in everything that I like. And you've been feeding me all that stuff since I was a wee little tyke. And now you say I must eat differently, only natural foods grown organically. Well, I'll take my chances with 7-Eleven, and if I'm wrong, I'll go to junk food heaven. So take your veggies and shove them up your nose. I don't want to be healthy, I like to keep my mind closed. So take your rubbish and stick it in your ear. I know what's good for me. Cigarettes, ice cream, and beer. I know what's good for me. Cigarettes, ice cream, and beer.
Just kidding. But it's great to be with you tonight. We have a special...
Pardon me, Mr. Freeberg, but my name is Tweedley.
Well, we all have our problems.
I am the censor from the Citizens Radio Committee, and I feel...
You, from the Citizens Radio Committee, you say?
It's exactly what I said, yes.
And what is your purpose in being here?
I must okay all the material used on your program here. And I think the best method is to just sit back here and interrupt when I feel it's necessary.
You mean you plan to stop me every time I do something that you think is wrong?
Exactly. I'll just sound my little horn like this. And then you stop, and I'll tell you what's wrong.
Somehow I can tell this is going to be one of those days.
You just go right ahead, Mr. Freeberg. Don't mind me.
Yeah. Now I'd like to sing...
You forgot to say thank you, Mr. Freeberg. Politeness is an essential in radio programming. Your program goes into the home. We must be a good influence on children.
That's a darling little horn there. Mm-hmm. Thanks very much, Mr. Tweedley.
You're welcome, I am sure.
I'd like to sing a old river song in honor this week of National Mississippi Riverboat Paddle Wheel Week. Mr. May, if you please.
Very polite, Mr. Freeberg.
Thank you.
Old Man River, that old...
All right, Tweedley, politeness I dig, but what in the world is wrong with Old Man River?
The word old has a connotation some of the more elderly people find distasteful. I would suggest you make the substitution, please.
I suppose you insist?
Precisely. You may continue.
Okay, music.
You forgot to say thank you.
Yes, okay. Thank you, Mr. Tweedley.
You're quite welcome, I am sure.
Elderly Man River, that elderly man River, he must know something, but he don't say nothing.
All right, hold it, fellas. Now what, Tweedley?
The word something, you left off the G.
But that's authentic. Something. That's the way the people
I'm sorry.
Talk down there. What?
The home is a classroom, Mr. Freeberg.
I know you said that.
Keep in mind the tiny tots. And furthermore, think back. You'll recall that you said, but he don't say nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, really, Mr. Freeberg, that's a double negative. Do you mean he does say something?
No, I just wasn't using my head, I guess.
I mean, after all, it should be grammatically correct, keeping in mind...
the tiny tots, yes.
You probably mean he doesn't say anything.
I suppose I mean that, yes, I guess. All right, fine. You win. All right, Billy, music. Thank you.
You're welcome, I am sure.
Elderly Man River, that elderly man River, he must know something, but he doesn't say anything. He just keeps rolling. He just keeps rolling along. He doesn't plant taters, potatoes. He doesn't plant cotton, cotting. and them, these, those that plants them are soon forgetting. But Elderly Man River just keeps rolling along.
Excellent.
Thank you.
You and me.
The Tiny Tots again, was it?
Exactly.
Sorry about that. Here we go.
You and I, we sweat, perspire, and strain. Bodies all aching and racked with pain.
Oh, we got by that one.
Hold that hard! Lift that veil! You get a little.
Okay, take your finger off the button, Mr. Tweedley. We know when we're licked. Well, that concludes Elderly Man River. Oh, yes, and thank you for being with us, Mr. Tweedley.
You're welcome, I'm sure.
That there that ye be listening to just now was Sam Freeberg and Dawes Butler with not Old Man River, Elderly Man River. Almost got buzzed myself. Now, we be cutting to commercial, and we return, we'll have more of the greatness that is the Captain's Quarters. We also have the request lines open at 323-HEAVE-HO, 323-432-8346. Write it down. Make sure you become a part of history by calling it in. 323-43-8346. Oh, and don't be forgetting that we also like to throw in our little vintage commercials before the real ones kick in. The real ones that kick in to pay for all the important things in life, like lawyers to stop buzzers.
Pee Wee Reese has a way with Dodger rookies or Sandlot youngsters. Pee Wee, you do a lot of work with boys.
Not work, Al. I like baseball and kids. I enjoy helping teenagers start right.
Oh, that's around shaving age, and you give them pointers on personal appearance, too?
Yes, a boy has more self-respect when he's clean-shaved. I tell him to use a Gillette razor, Al.
You said it, the Gillette Super Speed Razor. And today there are 3. Light for sensitive skin and most younger men. Regular for average skin and beard. Heavy for men who like the heft and feel of a heavier razor. Each is different, precisely engineered. One has the right blade edge exposure, edge angle, and weight to shave you in a breeze. Comfortable, good-looking shaves you may never have had before. And convenient, you change blades and rinse clean so. Choose your Gillette Super Speed Razor. $1.29 with Gillette Blue Blade dispenser and handy travel case.
Look, Sidekick, a shop just for heroes.
No, it's a comic book shop and it's for everyone.
Not possible. See, it's even right in the name, Heroes. So that means you'll need to stay out here whilst I go shopping.
It's Heroes, your mom threw out comic shop, and it's for everyone, including sidekicks.
Hey guys, the little guy is right. It's all about the love of comics, and not whether you can fly or not. But, by the way, I do love the cape.
Gee, thanks.
So Heroes Comic Shop is located at 130 West 14th Street in Elmira Heights, New York. We're open Wednesday through Saturday. You can check us out at momthroughout.com.
Oh, look! They have Archie comics!
Heroes Comics, for every kind of hero.
Well, I have just had someone, part of the crew, hand over to me a nice little record by Mr. Buck Owens. It's on the cover of the Music City News, a little parody of on the cover of the Rolling Stone from so very long ago. I gave it to listen to, and boy, is it good. I listened to it during a commercial. I kind of put it in fast forward. He sounded a bit like a chipmunk, but it sounded like a very good chipmunk. So here it be. Buck Owens, right here on the Captain's Quarters, with on the cover of the Music City News.
Well, we're country singers, we got golden fingers, and we're loved everywhere we go. We do our picking and we do our grinning for $10,000 a show. We get all kinds of thrills from all kinds of deals, but the one we never knew is the one that'll get you when you get your picture on the cover of the Music City News. Music City News.
Gonna see my picture on the cover.
News.
Gonna buy 5 copies for my mother.
News.
Gonna see my smiling face
on the cover of the Music City News.
Got a big long bus with a driver named Gus that shines our cowboy boots.
That's right.
Got a custom-made car with a built-in bar and a closet full of nudist suits.
We fly jet airplanes and drink pink champagne with folks like Howard Hughes. And we keep getting richer, but we can't get a picture on the cover of the Music City News. Music City News.
Wanna see my picture on the cover.
News.
Gonna buy 5 copies for my mother.
News.
Gonna see my smiling face
on the cover of the Music City News.
We got snuff queen babies and some backstage ladies with furs and diamond rings. Got aunts and uncles and shirt-tail cousins like you ain't never seen.
We got all the friends that money can buy, so we never have to sing the blues. And they all call us mister, but we can't get a picture on the cover of the Music City News. Music City News.
Wanna see my picture on the cover.
News.
Gonna buy 5 copies for my mother.
News.
Gonna see my smiling face
on the cover of the Music City News. On the cover of the Music City News.
One foot in the grave and one on the gas. Hi. Well, I'm blocking traffic, they can't pass, no. So I made a quick illegal turn and I left that doggone blinker on again. You know I got my license back in 45. Most my friends are barely alive. I take these pills just to survive. I can't drive, I'm 65. Roadhog. So I'm tooling right along in my Oldsmobile, yeah. And I can't see over the steering wheel, no. I take a stop sign out and a mailbox too. At the railroad crossing, I drive right through. They say, whoa. I don't go faster than 25. Card in my wallet says you shouldn't revive. I funked my eye test, gave them a bribe. I can't drive, I'm 65. Oh yeah, I can't drive, I'm 65. I can't drive, I'm 65. I can't drive, I'm 65. I can't drive.
Oh, Magoo, you done it again.
That there was Huff Rivers. With I can't drive, I'm 65. Aye. Some of the blue hairs need to be stepping off the lane, and other ones need to be stepping on the tall, skinny pedal. It's right beside the coward pedal. Move it, whore. Well, I would say lose it, but they're paying the bill, so move along, please. Now, it's be a time, or they might be giants with birdhouse in your soul.
outlet by the light switch. Who watches over you? Make a little birdhouse in your soul, not to put too fine a point on it. Say I'm the only bee in your bonnet. Make a little birdhouse in your soul. I have a secret to tell from my electrical well. It's a simple message and I'm leaving out the whistles and bells. So the room must listen to me, filibuster vigilantly. My name is Blue Canary, one note spelled L-I-T-E. My story's infinite, like the Longines Symphony. It doesn't rest. Blue Canary in the outlet by the light switch. Who watches over you? Make a little birdhouse in your soul, not to put too fine a point on it. Say I'm the only bee in your bonnet. Make a little birdhouse in your soul. But I'm a little glowing friend. But really I'm not actually your friend, but I am. There's a picture opposite me of my primitive ancestry, which stood on rocky shores and kept the beaches shipwreck free. Though I respect that a lot, I'd be fired if that were my job. After killing Jason off and countless screaming Argonauts, blue bird of friendliness, like guardian angels, it's always near. Blue Canary in the outlet by the light switch. Who watches over you? Make a little birdhouse in your soul, not to put too fine a point on it. Say I'm the only bee in your bonnet. Make a little birdhouse in your soul. While you're at it, leave the nightlight on inside the birdhouse in your soul. Not to put too fine a point on it. Say I'm the only bee in your bonnet. Make a little birdhouse in your soul. While you're at it, leave the nightlight on inside the birdhouse in your soul. Not to put too fine a point on it. Say I'm the only bee in your bonnet. Make a little birdhouse in your soul. While you're at it, leave the nightlight on inside the birdhouse in your soul. Not to put too fine a point on it. Say I'm the only bee in your bonnet. Make a little birdhouse in your soul.
Gentlemen, pray silence for the President of the Royal Society for putting things on top of other things.
I thank you, gentlemen. The year has been a good one for the Society. This year, our members have put more things on top of other things than ever before. But I should warn you, this is no time for complacency. No. There are still many things, and I cannot emphasize this too strongly, not on top of other things. I myself, on my way here this evening, saw a thing that was not on top of another thing in any way. Shame indeed. But we must not allow ourselves to become too despondent. For we must never forget that if there was not one thing that was not on top of another thing, our society would be nothing more than a meaningless body of men that gathered together for no good purpose. But we flourish. This year, our Australasian members and the various organizations affiliated to our Australasian branches put no fewer than 22 things on top of other things. Well done, all of you. But there is one cloud on the horizon. In this last year, our Staffordshire branch has not succeeded in putting one thing on top of another. Therefore, I call upon our Staffordshire delegate to explain this weird behavior.
Cutler, Staffordshire. Well, Mr. Chairman, it's just that most of the members in Staffordshire feel the whole thing's a bit silly.
I suppose it is a bit. What have we been doing wasting our lives with all this nonsense? Right, okay, meeting adjourned forever.
Well, there. Short and sweet, and to the point. It's the Society for Putting Things on Top of Other Things by Monty Python. Oh, I think we should pick it up just a little bit with some Jerry Reed's The Preacher and the Bear. This is one way to definitely get you some religion.
Yeah, here comes the preacher. Well, the preacher went out a-hunting. It was on one Sunday morning. It was against his religion, but he took a shotgun along. He got him a mess of mighty fine quail and one old scraggly hat. But on the way home he crossed the path of a great big grizzly bear. Well, the bear got down, looked ready to charge. The preacher never seen nothing quite that large. They looked at each other right smack in the eye. Didn't take that preacher long to say bye. The preacher, he run till he spotted a tree. Said up in that tree where I ought to be. By the time that bear made a grab for him, the preacher was a-sitting on top of that limb. Scared to death, he turned about. He looked to the sky and began to shout, "Hey, Lord, you delivered Daniel from the bottom of the lion's den. You delivered Jonah from the belly of the whale, and then the Hebrew children from the fiery furnace, so the good books do declare. Hey, Lord, if you can't help me, for goodness sake, don't help that bear." Yeah! Look out, preacher! Well, about that time the limb broke off, and the preacher come a-tumbling down. Had a straight razor out of his pocket. About the time he lit on the ground, he landed on his feet right in front of that bear, and Lord, what an awful fight. The preacher and the bear and the razor and the hair just a-flying from left to right. Well, now first there's up, and then there's down. The preacher and the bear running round and round. The bear, he roared, and the preacher, he groaned. Having a tough time holding his own. Said, Lord, if I get out here alive, bet to the good book I'll abide. No more hunting on the Sabbath day. Come Sunday, I'm heading to church to pray. Up to the heavens, the preacher glanced. Said, Lord, won't you give me just one more chance? So the preacher got away. He looked around, seen a tree where he'd be safe and sound. Jumped on a limb, turned about, looked to the sky and began to shout, "Hey, Lord, you delivered old Daniel from the bottom of the lion's den. You delivered Jonah from the belly of the whale, and then the Hebrew children from the fiery furnace, so the good books do declare. Hey, Lord, if you can't help me, then don't do nothing for that bear. Now, get out of here, bear. Lord, do something for me and forget that bear. I'm telling you, he's big. Look at the size of that thing. Oh! What are you? Get off of this tree! Lord, help me! Are you kidding me with the size of that bear?
It sounds funny, I know, but it really is so. Oh, I'm my own grandpa. I'm my own grandpa. I'm my own grandpa. It sounds funny, I know, but it really is so. Oh, I'm my own grandpa. Now many years ago when I was 23, I was married to a widder who was pretty as could be. This widder had a grown-up daughter who had hair of red. My father fell in love with her and soon they two were wed. This made my dad my son-in-law and changed my very life. My daughter was my mother, 'cause she was my father's wife. To complicate the matter, even though it brought me joy, I soon became the father of a bouncing baby boy. My little baby then became a brother-in-law to Dad, and so became my uncle, though it made me very sad. For if he was my uncle, then that also made him brother of the widow's grown-up daughter, who of course was my stepmother. I'm my own grandpa. I'm my own grandpa. It sounds funny, I know, but it really is so. Oh, I'm my own grandpa. Father's wife wife and had a son who kept them on the run. And he became my grandchild, for he was my daughter's son. My wife is now my mother's mother, and it makes me blue, because although she is my wife, she's my grandmother too. I'm my own grandpa. I'm my own grandpa. It sounds funny, I know, but it really is so. Oh, I'm my own grandpa. Now, if my wife is my grandmother, then I'm her grandchild. And every time I think of it, it nearly drives me wild. For now I have become the strangest case you ever saw. As husband of my grandmother, I am my own grandpa. I'm my own grandpa. I'm my own grandpa. It sounds funny, I know, but it really is so. Oh, I'm my own grandpa.
If your family tree be sounding like that at the reunion, you might be wanting to reconsider things. That's my own grandpa. I'm my own grandpa. Alonzo and Oscar. We be going to commercial, but we be coming back. We got great stuff for you, because we're the captain's quarters. What else would it be here but great stuff?
Butter. Oh, what was that?
Butter.
Parquet margarine.
Butter.
No, parquet. It says right on your lid, parquet margarine.
Butter.
Parquet. Smooth, delicious. Butter.
Parquet.
Oh, yeah.
Parquet margarine from Kraft. The flavor says butter.
Let's be a stopping into BC's restaurant and see what Mike be a cooking up.
But I's brought us some raw squid and salami sandwiches so we could his picnic.
Oh, that's nice. But I wanted to treat you to a nice meal.
I'll save these for later.
Aye, let's be fetching in.
Oh, this is nice.
Aye, that'd be. And it looks like an old-fashioned diner at that.
And looks at this menu. It looks so good. They got the wings, the subs and salads. I think I get a BC big plate. Let's see, it comes with the cheeseburger, the hot dog, the fries, the cheese sauce, the meat sauce, and the coleslaw. Better mix that too. What are you having, my little pumpernickel?
I think I'll be having a double dog special. Oh, goody. It'd be a coming with chips and a drink too. Ha ha ha.
BC's Restaurant, 238 Oakwood Avenue, Elmira Heights. They have indoor, outdoor, and takeout available. 607-735-2166. And they're open from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., Monday through Friday.
As we climb closer to the top of the hour, it's reminding us that we are going to be having the final party for the next hour, which will prepare our minds for greater and more amazing things. In called the witching hour, and we must be prepared for the witching hour, for the witching hour is preparing for us. And if we aren't completely daft by that time, we might have our very last little bit of common sense wiped out all in one shot, and that would not be a good thing. For a dose of common sense and daftness, we must turn to Leonard Nimoy now with the Ballad of Bilbo Baggins.
In the middle of the earth, in the land of Shire, lives a brave little hobbit whom we all admire. With his long wooden pipe, fuzzy woolly toes, he lives in a hobbit hole and everybody knows him. Bilbo, Bilbo Baggins, he's only 3 feet tall. Bilbo, Bilbo Baggins, the bravest little hobbit of them all. Now hobbits are peace-loving folks, you know. They're never in a hurry and they take things slow. They don't like to travel away from home. They just like to eat and be left alone. But one day Bilbo was asked to go on a big adventure to the caves below, to help some dwarves get back their gold that was stolen by a dragon in the days of old. Bilbo, Bilbo Baggins is only 3 feet tall. Bilbo, Bilbo Baggins, the bravest little hobbit of them all. Well, he fought with the goblins. He battled a troll. He riddled with Gollum. A magic ring he stole. He was chased by wolves, lost in the forest, escaped in a barrel from the Elf King's halls. Bilbo, Bilbo Baggins, the bravest little hobbit of them all. Now he's back in his home in the land of Shire, that brave little hobbit whom we all admire, just a-sitting on a treasure of silver and gold, a-puffing on his pipe in his hobbit hole. Bilbo, Bilbo Baggins, he's only 3 feet tall. Bilbo, Bilbo Baggins, the bravest little hobbit of them all. Bilbo, Bilbo Baggins.
Daddy, Captain!
Molly! Where's you been a-keeping yourself?
Oh, Mama Babushka has been teaching me how to cook. I never knew there were so many ways to prepare Siegel's Oyster Rockefeller.
Shouldn't that be Rockefeller?
Maybe. Next she says she's going to teach me to make Russian squid tartar with anchovy or artichoke hearts and hot sauce. Well, bye!
Bye-bye, my dear. Oh.
Crossing the highway late last night, he should've looked left and he should've looked right. He didn't see the station wagon car, the skunk got squashed, and there you are. You got your dead skunk in the middle of the road. Dead skunk in the middle of the road. Dead skunk in the middle of the road, stinking to high heaven. Take a whiff on me, that ain't no rose. Roll up your window and hold your nose. You don't have to look and you don't have to see, 'cause you can feel it in your olfactory. You got your dead skunk in the middle of the road. Dead skunk in the middle of the road. Dead skunk in the middle of the road, and it's stinking to high heaven.
There be London Wainwright III with Dead Skunk in the middle of the road. It'd be time for us to explore the worlds of yodeling. It'd be Jack Foreman with yodeling Yoda, right here on the captain's quarters.
First a Wampa took a swipe right at my face. Then the Empire landed there and shot at the place. So on took off for a ride with the Wookiee by his side, and I flew my X-Wing fighter into space. R2 said he'd like a turn at the wheel, but I thought instead I'd get us there by feel to somewhere I never saw, a swampy place called Dagobah. I crash landed in this bog all full of eels. Suddenly something appeared behind me. With a tiny cane, he was all wrinkled and green. He said he'd like to take me to who I wanted to see, but first we eat.
He pulled off his hood and gave me some food, and then he said,
Science matters not. Try not, do or do not. There is no try.
He convinced me that I should decide to stay. So he hitched a ride and I ran all through the day, doing handstands for a change, Jamaican rocks float in the rain. The force was strong with me, what can I say? But when he told me my X-Wing would fly again, that I could raise it up and go to see my friends, I threw in the towel and quit, and I collapsed into a fit, and Yoda lifted it up with his hand. Suddenly I felt all cold and strange, like there was something in the dark calling my name. So I made myself feel brave and climbed right down into the cave, and I only had myself to blame.
I swiped my saber when I saw Lord Vader, but actually it was
Feel the force. Recklessness. Your weapons, you will not need them. Control. You're a powerful Jedi. Great warrior. Judge me by my size, do you?
Oh, Dunderbeck, how could you be so mean to ever have invented the sausage meat machine? Now all the neighbors' cats and dogs will never more be seen, 'cause they've been crowned to sausage meat in Dunderbeck's machine. There was a man from Briarcliff, his name was Dunderbeck. He sold a lot of sausages and sauerkraut by heck. He made the greatest sausages that were ever seen, until one day he invented a sausage meat machine. Oh, Dunderbeck, how could you be so mean to ever have invented the sausage meat machine? Now all the neighbors' cats and dogs will never more be seen, 'cause they've been ground to sausage meat in Dunderbeck's machine.
One day a little fat boy came walking in the store. He bought a pound of sausages and laid them on the floor. Then he began to whistle, he whistled up a tune, and all the little sausages went dancing round the room.
Oh, Dunderbeck, how could you be so mean to ever have invented the sausage meat machine? Now all the neighbors' cats and dogs will never more be seen, 'cause they've been ground to sausage meat in Dunderbeck's machine.
One day the machine got busted, the darn thing wouldn't work. So Dunderbeck he crawled inside to see what made it jerk. His wife she had a nightmare, she walked in her sleep. She gave the crank a wickety wank and Dunderbeck was meat.
Oh Dunderbeck, how could you be so mean to ever have invented the sausage meat machine? Now all the neighbors' cats and dogs will never more be seen, 'cause they've been ground to sausage meat in Dunderbeck's machine. So if you have some cats and dogs, you better keep them locked, 'cause if you don't, I'm warning you, you're in for one big shock. If ever you eat some sausage meat from Dunderbeck right now, you'll hear the little sausages meow and bow wow wow. Oh Dunderbeck, how could you be so mean to ever have invented the sausage meat machine? Now all the neighbors' cats and dogs will never more be seen, 'cause they've been ground to sausage meat in Dunderbeck's machine. 'Cause they've been ground to sausage meat in Dunderbeck's machine. 'Cause they've been ground to sausage meat in Dunderbeck's machine.
Hey, there be Tom Glazier with Dunderbeck. You got to be wondering what's in them there sausages. Don't be asking, or they be tasty. Just cook them a little bit longer until they stop barking. Let's go to John Harford's When the Dinner Bell Rings. I'm starting to get hungry. But
when I look at this fiddle, the color of your skin, as smooth as the desert inside your eyes, round as the world you profess not to be a part of. When I deal this card, one of many that are capable of playing poker, like the game we play with each other when we are alone, as a single mouse muffin on a new high school diploma. So pulling back this lever, I start the engine like some diesel belt from the basement of consciousness that controls my love of music, which like my love of you shall not perish forever. And the best love songs of the American people, like the crowd, the dances in ever-widening circles around these fiddlers here who practice their sawmill movements, chasing only when the dinner bell rings.
She grabbed my coconuts and then she ran away. She grabbed my coconuts and did not even stay. Oh why? Tell me why? Did she want to see a grown man cry? She grabbed my coconuts and then she ran away. Thought I was alone. She came out of nowhere. I asked if I could show her the coconuts I'd grown. High up in the tree, blowing on my big flute. She was staring at my fruit, asking when suddenly she grabbed my coconuts and then she ran away. She grabbed my coconuts and didn't even stay. Oh why? Tell me why? Did she want to see a grown man cry? She grabbed my coconuts and then she ran away. Harry began to round. I had them since I was a baby. To the horrible lady, knocked them all around. Maybe she had plans to drink the milk inside them. It was impossible to hide them from a deadly hand. She grabbed my coconuts and then she ran away. She grabbed my coconuts and didn't even stay. Oh why? Tell me why? Did she want to see a grown man cry? She grabbed my coconuts and then she ran away. She attacked them, tried to crack them, really whacked them into a coconut souffle. And then she ran away. It is such a shame I never got to utilize them. Ever since she brutalized them, they've never been the same. I'm a broken man, nothing in my coconut sack. She bruised my banana, it is turning black, getting gushy in my hands. She grabbed my coconuts and then she ran away. She grabbed my coconuts and didn't even stay. Oh why? Tell me why? Did she want to see a grown man cry? She grabbed my coconuts and then she ran away. Everybody, she grabbed my coconuts and then she ran away. She grabbed my coconuts and didn't even stay. Oh why? Tell me why? Did she want to see a grown man cry? She grabbed my coconuts and then she ran away. And then she ran away.
Barry and the Bookbinders with She Grabbed My Coconuts. We'll be back in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. Don't go far.
Hey, that supply of Ritz seems on the fritz.
No, stop, darling. Don't blow your top. I always keep another box handy.
Dandy! He knows Ritz crackers are richer, crisper, and his mouth is full, or he'd help us whisper. Only Nabisco bakes Ritz.
Hi, my name is Alfred Sneasley, and when I go to Heroes Comic Shop on 14th Street in Elmira Heights, New York, I'm always greeted with a big smile from Jared.
Hey, Alfred. Hey, how are you today?
And his selection of comics and graphic novels, it's just amazing. I mean, it's what I always dreamed I could be. And he always treats me like the hero I am inside.
I don't just read about the heroes, I become the hero! At Heroes Comic Shop, I become the hero Mom always wanted me to be!
So Heroes Comic Shop is located at 130 West 14th Street in Elmira Heights, New York. We're open Wednesday through Saturday. You can check us out at momthroughout.com.
Now up and away! You're listening to 1410 WELM Elmira and 106.5 FM The Pirate.
Welcome back to the second hour of me show, me boy. And boy, oh boy, have we got some splendiferous bits and baubles right in store for ye. For example, the Final 40. It'd be extremicated right from the request sent to us via the mail of...
That's email, you dolt.
That's what me be saying.
They can also call us at 323-HEAVE-HO.
I'd like to heave-ho you.
But was that my little pumpernickel?
Nothing, my dear. You old sea hag.
Well, here, let me help you get this show going again.
Avast, you old bat. Heave-ho!
Heave-ho! Johnny!
We're all doomed. Oh, that's better.
See? I made it so better. I'm going to see about that dinner and work on my suntan.
Me's not even hungry, and it be night time out, you crazy old bat. And don't slam the door. We're back, as you can tell, and we've got more great things than you can shake sticks at. And there's a few things you probably should be shaking a stick at. That's all I can be saying. So stick around and don't go far, because if you do, you'll miss out, and then you won't be part of history. Actually, I think that's only if you don't call in. Oh, that's right. You need to be calling in at 323-HEAVE-HO, 323-HEAVE-HO, or for those who can't translate well, make a 323-432-8346. That's 323-432-8346. Dial it on the old telephony and make a request. Call it in and we'll see what we can do about making it properly processed. love having them call in. The weirder, the better. Cut us to the jib. Make it good. Make it awesome. And become a true part of history. And if for some reason you're too bashful to be calling in, then you can always be going by the Mail of E or going to our Book of Face. That'd be right. You can go right to our Book of Face, message us, and do whatever it is that you be needing to do. So, Mail of E, Book of Face. Oh, the Book of Face? You might be saying. Where be the Book of Face? Well, you go to the Captain's Quarters, 106.5. Type that in. Let the old interwebs take you to where you need to be. And once you're there, enjoy. We have the book. Not the book. We have the group and the page. So, figure out where you want to be and then become part of it. Let us go right now to the music. Which shall be... what shall it be? Oh, here's a good one. It shall be Guitars and Ray Stevens on the Captain's Quarters.
He's free as a breeze, he's always at ease. He lives in the jungle, hangs by his knees, and swings through the trees without a trapeze in his BVDs. He got a union card and he's practicing hard to play the guitar. Gonna be a big star, yeah, it's gonna go far. Carry moonbeams home in a jar. He ordered Chet's guitar course COD, makes A, E, working on B, digs C and W and R and B, and me and the chimpanzee agree that one day soon he'll be a celebrity. Get it, get it, get it, get it. Ow! Guitar Zane, he's a guitar man. He's all you can stand. Give him a hand, Guitar Zane. Jane with no last name, kinda homely and plain. Loves her just the same, cause she kindles a flame and it drives him insane when he hears her sing. She really does her thing, it's her claim to fame. Come on, sing one, Jane.
All right. Baby! Baby! Wow, baby! Scooby-Dooby, baby! Scooby-Dooby-Dooby, baby! Wow, baby!
Let's hear it for Jane!
Thank you, folks, thank you!
Well, he got a pet monkey, he likes to get drunky and sing boogie woogie, and it sounds real funky. Come on, your time, boy. Here we go. Sing one, monkey. Let's hear it for the monkey. On Saturday night they need some excitement. Jane gets right, monkey gets tight. Voices unite in the pale moonlight. Sounds alright, yeah, it's dynamite. It's out of sight, let's hear it right now.
Baby! Shut up, baby, I'm trying to sing!
Get it, get it, get it, get it out. Guitar Zane and his jungle band. They're all you can stay. Give them a hand, Guitar Zane. Yeah, Guitar Zane and his jungle band. They're all you can stay. A little applause, Guitar Zane. Guitar Zane and his jungle band. They're all you can stay. Give them a hand, Guitar Zane. Hey, Guitar Zane and his jungle band.
I have a message for you. A very sad message. My subject for this evening will be Little Bo Peep. It says here, Little Bo Peep, who was a little girl, has lost her sheep and doesn't know where to find them. Now that's reasonable, isn't it? It's reasonable to assume if little Bo Peep had lost her sheep, it's only natural that she wouldn't know where Divine? That basically is reasonable. But leave them alone. Now that overwhelms me. Completely overwhelms me. The man said she lost a sheep. Turns right around and boldly states she doesn't know where to find them. And then has the stupid audacity to say, leave them alone. Now think for a moment, think. If the sheep were lost and you couldn't find them, you'd have to leave them alone, wouldn't you? So leave them alone. Leave them alone. It's in the book. Leave them alone. And they being the sheep, they will come home. Oh, yes, they'll come home. Oh, there'll be a brighter day tomorrow. They will come home. It's in the book. They will come home. A wagon, a tail. Pray tell me, what else could they wag? They will come home, a wagging their tail. Behind them. Behind them. Did we think they'd wag them in front? Of course, they might have come home in reverse. They could have done that, I really don't know. But nonetheless, it's in the book. Now, if you will, kindly pick up your books and turn to page 222. We'll ask you all to sing. You'll find your books on the backs of your seats. Are we ready? Everyone, 222, let's really enjoy ourselves. Let's live it up all together. You remember Grandma's Lysol, good for everything in the home. And the secret was in the scrubbing. It wouldn't suds and couldn't foam. Then let us all sing right out of Grandma's Lysol. Used for everything. Everything on the place, the pots and kettles, the dirty dishes, and for your hands, and for your face, all for your hands. Shall we now sing the second verse? Let's fill it with a great exuberance. Let's live it up. It's not raining inside tonight. Everyone, let's have a happy time. Are we ready? All together. The second verse. Little Herman and Brother Thurman had an aversion to washing their ears. Grandma scrubbed them with the Lysol, and they haven't heard a word in years. Then let us all sing right out of Grandma's Lysol. Sing all out, all over the place, the pots and kettles, the dirty dishes, and also hands, and also Well, let's sing what's left of the last verse. Let's have a happy time, everyone. The last verse all together. Everyone. Thank you kindly. Mrs. O'Malley, out in the valley, suffered from ulcers, I understand. She swallowed a cake of Grandma's Lysol, has the cleanest ulcers in the land. They let us all sing right out of band. Oh, Grandma Liza, sing right out all over the village. The pots and pans wet, all dirty dishes and the hands.
That there revival was brought to us by John Stanley. It's in the book, Grandma's Lye Soap. Now, we've got a special one for ye. It's Camille West's Viagra in the Waters. I think you'll get a real kick out of this.
Just outside of Johnson City, on a dark and twisting road, in a Kenworth 18-wheeler with a heavy shifting load, he was pushing through to Binghamton, though the hour was getting late. Pfizer's finest on a mission to the pharmacies upstate. He was on a holy mission. There were men who couldn't wait for his 30,000 pounds of Viagra. He clocked 700 miles since he climbed into the rig. Just another 25 or so would finish up that gig. But the trailer hit an oil slick and down the hill did slide. Oh my, till it landed at the bottom in the town's water supply. It was instant rigor mortis, what a hard way to die. Save your sons, shield your daughters. There's Viagra in the water. All over Johnson City, people rising with the dawn. They drank their morning coffee, took their showers, watered lawns. And who could have predicted all the changes up ahead? Men were getting up for work and heading back to bed. So many called in sick, you would have thought a virus spread. Down at the courthouse coffee shop, they stared in disbelief as a pack of thirsty lawyers started filling out their briefs. But at a local college, young men appeared much smarter. No chromosomal mysteries, they simply studied harder. Now water on the rocks is the latest party starter. Save your sons, shield your daughters. There's Viagra in the water. The Johnson City firemen, they cursed their wretched luck. They could not get their fire hoses wound back on the truck. Sprinkling holy water at a funeral, Father Ryan said, oh, you know what he said? I know I've saved their souls, but I've never raised the dead. Would a couple strong men help me now to close the casket lid? Old man Weisberg took the shower of his life. Then he marched into the kitchen and he called out to his wife. She knew something was up as he stood naked at the table, holding 2 cups of coffee and a half a dozen bagels. It had been at least a decade since the last time he was able. It's a miracle! Save your sons, shield your daughters. There's Viagra in the water. Some hardened politicians came into town one day with their permits and their pipelines pumped the waters all away. From the heart of Johnson City rose the mournful cry of man. But But the women knew another truck was coming through again. Don't worry, there's a truck next week. We'll spread the oil again. Save your sons, shield your daughters. There's Viagra in the water.
With big hungry tigers, table manners have no place. Dear, 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 no, dear, 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 no, dear, dear, oh, dear, no. After they have eaten you, they never say their grace. Dear, 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 no, dear, 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 no, dear, dear, oh, dear, no. Hunting tigers can be ripping fun. Like three blind mice see the hunters run. Hunting tigers out in India. Out in India. Yeah. You all know how beastly tigers are. Out in India. They bite, they scratch, they make an awful fuss. It's no use stroking them and saying puss, puss, puss. So hunting tigers out in India. Out in India. Yeah. They bite, they scratch, they make an awful fuss. It's no use stroking them and saying puss, puss, puss. No hunting tigers out in India. Out in India. Yeah.
I say, J.O., it's jolly frightening out here.
Nonsense, dear boy. You should be like me.
But look at you, you're shaking all over. What's the
Shaking,
matter with
you silly goose. I'm just doing the Watusi, that's all.
Tigers don't go out on rainy nights. They've no need to whet their appetites. Hunting tigers out in India. Out in India. Yeah. How many tigers can you find with forks and serviettes? Dear, 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 no, dear, 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 no, dear, dear, oh, dear, no. Don't care in what part of you they fix their fretwork sets. Dear, 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 no, dear, 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 no, dear, dear, oh, dear, no. Hunting tigers can be ripping fun. Like three blind mice see the hunters run. Hunting tigers out in India. Out in India. Yeah. Hunting tigers out in India. Out in India. Yeah.
Hunting tigers out in India. It's the Bonzo Dog Man right there with that one. Just enjoying the show myself. We need to cut a commercial and return. It'll be the final 40, and we shall see where ye be taking us to.
You can get anything you want at Alice's restaurant. You can get anything you want at Alice's restaurant. Walk right in, it's around the back, just a half a mile from the railroad track. You can get anything you want at Alice's restaurant.
Look, Sidekick, a shop just for heroes.
No, it's a comic book shop and it's for everyone.
Not possible. See, it's even right in the name, Heroes. So that means you'll need to stay out here whilst I go shopping.
It's Heroes, your mom threw out comic shop, and it's for everyone, including sidekicks.
Hey guys, the little guy is right. It's all about the love of comics, and not whether you can fly or not. But, by the way, I do love the cape.
Gee, thanks.
So Heroes Comic Shop is located at 130 West 14th Street in Elmira Heights, New York. We're open Wednesday through Saturday. You can check us out at momthroughout.com.
Oh, look! They have Archie comics!
Heroes Comics, for every kind of hero.
Well, by now you should be knowing what a time it be. That's right. It be time for the final 40. So, it's where we be taking and handing it over to ye. So you can decide our fate. Do we live or shall we die? Shall we fly high or sink to the bottom? And which is more preferable? Now let's go straight to the phone lines and see what we shall see.
Oh well, man, it's like the captain. I want to hear a song by like that weird girl.
Now in the laid-back California town of sunny San Rafael lived a girl named Pearly Sweetcake. You probably knew her well. She was stoned 15 of her 18 years, and her story was widely told that she could smoke 'em faster than anyone could roll. Well, her legend finally reached New York, that Grove Street walk-up flat, where dwelt the Calistoga Kid, a beatnik from the past. He'd been rolling dope since time began. Now he took a cultured toke and said, "Jim, I can roll 'em faster than any chick can smoke." So a note gets sent to San Rafael for the championship of the world. The kid demands a smoke-off. "Well, bring him on," says Pearl. "I grind his fingers off his hands. He'll roll until he drops." Says Calistoga, "I'll smoke that chick till she blows up and pops." So they rent out Yankee Stadium, and the word is quickly spread. Come one, come all who walk or crawl, tickets just 2 lids ahead. And from every town and hamlet, over land and sea they speed, the world's greatest dopers with the world's greatest weed. Hashishers from Morocco, hemp smokers from Peru, and the Shashniks from Bagun who smoke the deadly Pugaru, and those who call it light of life, and those that call it boo. See the dealers and their ladies wearing turquoise lace and leather. See the narcos and the closet smokers puffing all together. From the teenies who smoke legal to the ones who've done some time, to the old man who smoked reefer back before it was a crime. And the grand old house that Ruth built is filled with the smokes and cries of 50,000 screaming heads, all stoned out of their minds. And they play the national anthem, and the crowd lets out a roar as the spotlight hits the Kid and Pearl, ready for their smoking war. At a table piled up high with grass, as high as a mountain peak, just tops and buds of the rarest flowers, not one stem, branch, or seed. I mean a Maui, Wowie, a Panama red, Acapulco gold, keef from East Afghanistan, and that rare Alaska cold. And there's sticks from Thailand, Gange from the island, and Bangkok's bloomin' best, and some of that wet importer that capsized off Key West. There's Oaxacan tops, and Kenya Bang, and Riviera floors, and that rare Manhattan silver that grows down the New York sewers. And there's bubbling ice cold lemonade, and sweet grapes by the bunches, and there's Hershey bars and Oreos, in case anybody gets the munches. And the Calistoga Kid, he smiles, and Pearly, she just grins, and the drums roll low, and the crowd yells, "Go, go, go!" And the world's first smoke-off begins. Well, the kid, he flicks his fingers once, zap, that first joint's rolled. Pearl takes one toke with her famous lungs, and whoosh, that roach is cold. Then the kid, he rolls his super bomb that would paralyze a moose, and Pearl takes one mighty hit, and that bomb's defused. And then he rolls 3 in just 10 seconds, and she smokes him up in 9. And everybody sits back and says, hey, this just might take some time. See the blur of flying fingers, see the red coal burning bright, as the night turns into morning, and the morning fades to night, and the autumn turns to summer, and a whole damn year is gone, and the two still sit on that roach-filled stage, smoking and rolling. With trembling hands, he rolls his J's, with fingers blue and stiff. She coughs and stares with bloodshot gaze and puffs through blistered lips. And as she reaches out her hand for another stick of gold, the kid, he gasps, damn it, there's nothing left to roll. Nothing left to roll, screams Pearl. Is this some twisted joke? I didn't come here to around, man, I come here to smoke. And she reaches across the table and grabs his bony sleeves and crumbles his body between her hands like dried and brittle leaves, flicking out his teeth and bones like useless stems and seeds. And then she rolls him in a zigzag and lights him like a roach. And the fastest man with the fastest hands goes up in a puff of smoke. In the laid-back California town of sunny San Rafael lives a girl named Pearly Sweetcake. You probably know her well. She's been stoned 21 of her 24 years, and her story is still widely told how she still can smoke 'em faster than any dude can roll. While off in New York City, on a street that has no name, there's the hands of the Calistoga Kid in the Viper Hall of Fame. And underneath his fingers, there's a little golden scroll that says, beware of being the roller when there's nothing left to roll.
Daddy, what's a frontal lobotomy?
Well, son, you know how the pressures of life can cause people to do crazy things. And if a person does too many crazy things, then that person is crazy. Sometimes you can keep yourself from going crazy by doing things to relieve tension, like drinking or having sex. But if craziness goes too far, sometimes the only thing left to do is to cut out that part of your brain that makes you crazy. That kind of brain surgery is called a frontal lobotomy. Maybe this song will help you understand what I mean.
Jimmy and I are brothers. We went down different paths. Jimmy always listened to my mother, and me, I never liked to take a bath. As we grew and tumbled through adulthood, the pressure caused emotional drain. And now I'm slowly dying in the bottle, and Jimmy has to live with half a brain. Yes, me, I got a bottle in front of me, and Jimmy has a frontal lobotomy. Just different ways to kill the pain the same. But I'd rather have a bottle in front of me than have to have a frontal lobotomy. I might be drunk, but at least I'm not insane. Jimmy let his troubles drive him crazy. He never tried to drown it in a drink. I know that drinking makes my thinking hazy, but at least I still have brains enough to think. Jimmy's got a brain that isn't stable. He doesn't have the sense to say his name. I'm sorry that his doctor was unable to remove the proper portion of his brain. Yes, me, I've got a bottle in front of me, and Jimmy has a frontal lobotomy. Just different ways to kill the pain the same. But I'd rather have a bottle in front of me than have to have a frontal lobotomy. I might be drunk, but at least I'm not insane. Funny how the world works. People can be real jerks. Some prefer the tension over booze. Either way it ends the same. Hard to beat the living game. Might as well enjoy it while you lose. When I need a drink I start to shiver, and Jimmy always viewed it with concern. But I'd rather have cirrhosis of the liver than an intellect that's second to a fern. I wonder if old Jimmy's gonna hear it when I tell him that his logic wasn't sound. They'll dose him up on lots of evil spirits when they take him to the psychiatric grounds. Yes, me, I've got a bottle in front of me, and Jimmy has a frontal lobotomy. Just different ways to kill the pain the same. But I'd rather have a bottle in front of me than have to have a frontal lobotomy. I might be drunk, but at least I'm not insane. I might be drunk, but at least I'm not insane.
We started out there with Shella Silver scenes, a smoke off, and right into Randy Haslick's. Let's see. Oh, I'd rather have a bottle in front of me and a frontal lobotomy. So, what shall we have now? Let's jump right back to the phone lines and see what shall we see.
I got a hankering to hear some moose turd pie. Thank you.
Went down and got a job with rural electrification in the Navajo Indian Reservation. Running electric power lines into all the Navajo outhouses. Was one of the first people to wire ahead for a reservation. Finally, I'll tell you about the worst job I ever had in my life. Worst job I ever had in my life was working for the was it the Santa Fe? Yeah, it was the Santa Fe Railroad south of Las Vegas, Nevada. Yeah, that's the old Mormon Muddy Mission, you see. It's way out in what the Navajos call the boonies, out in the desert. Now, the job was gandy dancing. Now, gandy dancing used to be in the old days. Gandy dancing was when the Irish were building the railroad. Of course, the first transcontinental railroad was built by Irish laborers. And they used these long-handled shovels called Irish banjos that were made by the Gandy Shovel Company of Chicago. Now, the Irish laborer would take the wide end of the shovel when he could find it, and he would jam it in under a rail or a tie, and he would climb out on the long handle, do a little jig step out there, and that would lever the tie up or the rail up, and you push gravel in underneath it and tamp it down, and that levels the roadbed. See, that's what gandy dancing is. Leveling the roadbed so the damn train doesn't fall off as it goes by, which is just a big drag for everybody. Now, they don't do gandy dancing the normal way anymore, see, like they did in the old days. Nowadays, they run 3 cars out on the line. They run a box car out there that's a bunk car. You sleep in it. Got bunks in there 18 inches apart. And then you got a tool car with your tamping irons and your tongs and your double jackhammers and spikes and all of that equipment, see, to do the job. And then you got a cook car. I mean, there's no restaurants anyplace around, so you got a cook car. Pots and pans and a coal or wood-burning stove and a long table down the middle to eat at. Only thing they don't hire is a cook. That's because they're cheap. Saves them money. The rule is that in that crew, they're supposed to pick among their own members who's going to be the cook. Now, they don't try to do it sensibly, like draw lots or decide who the best cook is. What they do is they wait and find out who bitches and whines and pisses and moans the most about the cooking. And they say, all right, wise guy, you think you can do better, you get to be the cook. Well, that was me, see. Old alligator mouth. The new man on the crew, and that was the worst food I'd ever had. I mean, it was dog bottom pie and pheasant sweat. Otter water comes out of an otter. It's a terrible, terrible stuff. Some people might think it's a delicacy, but I thought it was garp. So I complained, and they said, all right, wise guy, you get to be the cook. That made me mad. because I didn't want to cook. But I knew if anybody complained about my cooking, that they were going to have to cook. Armed with that knowledge, I sallied forth over the muddy river. I was walking around among the cheat grass and bunch grass there, and I looked down, and there was just a hell of a big moose turd. Biggest damn moose turd, that was a real steamer, damn thing. I looked down at that meadow wafer, and I said to myself, Self, I'm gonna bake up a big moose turd pie. 'Cause if anybody complains about my cooking, they're gonna have to cook. So I tipped that pasture pastry up on edge. I got my together, so to speak. And I started rolling it down toward the old cook car. Boom, boom. I got it down there and leaned it up against the side, and I climbed up in the cook car and I baked up a hell of a big pie shell. And I baked that moose turd in it as slick as you please. And I crimped the edges with my thumbs and laid strips of dough across it and garnished it with a sprig of parsley, a little paprika. It was beautiful. Poetry on a plate. And I served it for dessert, waiting for the first hint of a complaint. Well, this giant dude come in, about 5'40". I mean, he was big. Throwed himself down like a fool on the stool. Picked up his fork. Took a big bite of that moose turd pie. Well, he threw down his fork, and he let out a beller, and he yelled, "My God, that's moose turd pie!" It's good, though.
One night I stayed up all night playing poker with tarot cards. I got a full house and 4 people died. I have a telescope on the peephole on my door so I can see who's at the door for 200 miles. Who is it? Who is it gonna be when you get here? I got an answering machine for my phone now when I'm not home, and someone calls me up, they hear a recording of a busy signal. I lost a buttonhole. I broke a mirror in my house. I'm supposed to get 7 years bad luck, but my lawyer thinks he can get me 5. I like to skate on the other side of the ice. I like to reminisce with people I don't know. Granted, it takes longer. I like to fill my tub up with water, then turn the shower on and act like I'm in a submarine that's been hit. And I hate when my foot falls asleep during the day, because that means it's going to be up all night. When I get real bored, I like to drive downtown and get a great parking spot, then sit in my car and count how many people ask me if I'm leaving.
We went from Utah Phillips to the moose turd pie right into Stephen Wright's ice. So let us be at this moment thinking about what shall be coming, and that be the witching hour. We need more requests coming in. That's 323-432-8346. That we be ready for a witching hour. going to commercial right now. And when we return, the second half of the final 40. So, it makes it some kind of a complicated number. Stick around. We'll figure it out. We'll do the math, even if we have to take our shoes off to figure it all out.
Back to present ancient Chinese pantomime, just for fun of it, Jello Tonight. Back to present small Chinese type baby waiting for dessert. Chinese mother Bling baby, Jello, famous Western delicacy. Poor Chinese baby. He unable to tell if this Jello is strawberry, raspberry, cherry, orange, lemon, lime, apple, black raspberry, black cherry, or grape. Jello come in all 10 flavors. Poor Chinese baby. But Chinese mother Bling baby, great Western invention. Spoon. Spoon was invented for eating Jello. Baby find this is grape Jello. Deep, dark, delicious new flavor. Chinese baby very happy. So end ancient Chinese pantomime. Is pretty good commercial, no?
Let's be a stopping into BC's restaurant and see what Mike be a cooking up.
But I's brought us some raw squid and salami sandwiches so we could his picnic.
Oh, that's nice. But I wanted to treat you to a nice meal.
I'll save these for later.
Aye, let's be fetching in.
Oh, this is nice.
Aye, that'd be. And it looks like an old-fashioned diner at that.
And looks at this menu. It looks so good. They got the wings, the subs and salads. I think I get a BC big plate. Let's see. It comes with the cheeseburger, the hot dog, the fries, the cheese sauce, the meat sauce, and the coleslaw. Better mix that too. What are you having, my little pumpernickel?
I think I'll be having a double dog special. Oh, goody. It'd be a coming with chips and a drink too. Ha ha ha.
BC's Restaurant, 238 Oakwood Avenue, Elmira Heights. They have indoor, outdoor, and takeout available. 607-735-2166. And they're open from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Ha! What shall we do? Nah, we're not going to be... What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do? We shall go to the phone lines, and then we'll ring them up the yard arm.
Hey, Captain. I've been on the Flying Dutchman for 170 years. Now that I'm retiring, I can say this. While I've enjoyed the crew, I have not enjoyed the work. So as a request, I'd like to hear, take this job and shove it.
Take this job and shove it. I ain't working no more. Couple of get this order, we just got it looking for. You see that guy stay away, just walking out the door. Take this job and shove it. I ain't working no more. Take this job and shove it. I ain't working no more. Couple of get this order, we just got it looking for. You see that guy stay away, just walking out the door. Take this job and shove it. I ain't working no more. Factory from now on 50 years. Oh, time I see my woman driving through the tears. I see the lot of people down, I have no bills to pay. I get the shirt right off my back if I had the nerve to stay. Take this job and shove it. I ain't working here no more. If I go to next door, to be some dollar looking for. If they not trying to spend my wages walking out the door. Take this job and shove it. I work here no more. Black woman who's a regular dog, and I'm who's a fool. Got my new singing haircuts, these things are cool. Running things on all my time, and somebody's gonna pay. I hate to see the look on his face when I turn the factory and say, take this job and shove it! I ain't working there no more! I'm gonna let you call the reason I've been looking for. If they don't try to stay my way, it's walking out the door. Take this job and shove it! I won't hear no more. Take this job and shove it! I won't hear, I won't hear, I won't hear no more.
Through the window, by the window, by the
through the tulips with me.
We started that particular request section with the dead Kennedys would take this job and shove it. You might have been laughing at something else, but that's what happens when you don't specify what you want. We make the rest of the specifications, and you never know what we'll be specifying as. Then we went through a Mail of E request from Tiny Tim, Tiptoe Through the Tulips. Let us jump right back to the phone lines and see what we shall be seeing and see where we run onto. The rocks or the sweet waters?
Ooh, I'd like to hear Frank Zappa's Disco Boy. Ooh!
Cause some dandruff might be hiding there. Disco boy, you're the disco king of the disco thing. Did you think someday that you just might go somewhere? Disco girl, you're out of sight. You need a disco boy to treat you right. He'll do the dance, take your mind, leave his hair alone, but you can kiss his car. Disco boy, run to the toilet boy and comb your hair. Disco boy, shake it more than 3 times and you're playing with it while you're standing there. Disco boy, do the bump every night till the disco girl is real.
was April the 41st. Being a quadruple leap year, I was driving in downtown Atlantis. My Barracuda was in the shop, so I was in a rented Stingray, and it was overheating. So I pulled into a Shell station. They said I'd blown a seal. I said, fix the damn thing and leave my private life out of it, okay, pal? While they were doing that, I walked over to a place called the Oyster Bar, a real dive. But I knew the owner. He used to play for the Dolphins. I said, hi, Gil! You have to yell, he's hard of hearing. Gil was also down on his luck. Fact is, he was barely keeping his head below water. I bellied up to the sandbar. He poured me the usual. Rusty snail, hold the grunion, shaken, not stirred. With a peanut butter and jellyfish sandwich on the side. Heavy on the Mako. I slipped him a fin. On porpoise. I was feeling good. I even dropped a sand dollar in the box for Jerry's squids. For the halibut. Well, the place was crowded. We were packed in like sardines. They were all there to listen to the big band sounds of Tommy Dorsal. What soul! Tommy was rocking the place with a very popular tuna, Salmon Enchanted Evening, and the stage was surrounded by screaming groupers, probably there to see the bass player. One of them was this cute little yellowtail, and she's giving me the eye. So I figured this is my chance for a little fun. You know, piece of Pisces. But she said things I just couldn't fathom. She was too deep, seemed to be under a lot of pressure. Boy, could she drink. She drank a lot. I said, what's your sign? She said, Aquarium. I said, great, let's get tanked. I invited her up to my place for a little midnight bait. I said, come on, baby, only take a few minnows. She threw me that same old line. Not tonight, I got a haddock. And she wasn't kidding either, because in came the biggest, meanest looking haddock I'd ever seen come down the pike. He was covered with muscles. He came over to me and said, listen, shrimp, don't you come trolling around here. What a crab. This guy was steamed. I could see the anchor in his eyes. I turned to him, I said, baloney. You're just being shellfish. Well, I knew there was going to be trouble, and so did Gil, because he was already on the phone to the cods. The haddock hits me with a sucker punch. I catch him with a left hook. He eels over. It was a fluke, but there he was, lying on the deck, flat as a mackerel. Kelpless. I said, forget the cods, Gil. This guy's going to need a sturgeon. Well, the yellowtail was impressed with the way I landed her boyfriend. She came over to me, she said, hey, big boy, you're really a game fish. What's your name? I said, Marlin. Well, from then on, we had a whale of a time. I took her to dinner. I took her to dance. I bought her a bouquet of flounders. And then I went home with her. And what did I get for my trouble? A case of the clams.
There be Kip Hotada, wet dream in the Gulf Stream. Now, don't be forgetting that next week is kind of an unusual week. Not just do we have the clocks rolling forward, so you're just 1 hour closer to the next episode, but we've also got St. Patty's Day and spring! Spring is coming right around the corner, so which one is it gonna be? Spring, St. Patty's Day, or hourly time wages? Ha!
Oh, Booby, I'm so proud of Molly. She learning cook real good. She gonna make someone beautiful bride someday and feed him real good, nice and fit, just like you. Anyways, I sing now. Yavandechu vayem, Meshin or Mannequin. Meat pots made in Japan. I am the modern man. I got a secret that I've been hiding under my skin. My heart is human. My blood is boiling. My brain IBM. So if you see me acting strangely, don't be surprised. I'm just a man who needed someone and somewhere to hide.
Aye.
To
Someone,
keep me
please.
alive.
Don't keep her alive. And
Just
definitely
keep
do
me
hide her.
alive. Somewhere to hide. To keep me alive.
No.
I am the modern man who hides behind a mask so no one else can see my true identity. Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. Domo. Domo. Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. Domo. Domo. Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. Domo. Domo. Thank you very much, Mr. Roboto, for doing the jobs that nobody wants to do. And thank you very much, Mr. Roboto, for helping me
Well,
escape.
I do believe we've been tortured well enough. Good night.
So just chill till the next episode.